Pride in the community is often represented by public buildings. For 80 years, Polk County's courthouse was a place where history was made and important public matters unfolded. Today, the courthouse remains as a symbol of the community, proudly preserving and celebrating the county's rich historic and cultural heritage. The transformation from the courthouse to the Polk County History Center took more than 10 years and $3 million to complete. The 1908 courtroom, which you see here, is an important focal point of this building. Courtrooms are immediately distinguishable from other spaces. The design of a courtroom speaks to our understanding of civil liberties and participatory justice. A courtroom is divided into two parts by a barrier known as a bar. The bar is usually an actual railing or divider of some sort, such as you see here, and it separates the judge, jury, and lawyers from the area reserved for the general public. A bailiff usually stands or sits within the bar area and assists the judge in keeping order in the court. From the judge's bench to the jury box, each placement within this space serves a specific function in the legal proceedings. The furnishings in the 1908 courtroom include both original and restored pieces. Among the restored pieces are the counsel tables and chairs and the jury box. These particular pieces were used in other courtrooms in the building during the 1926 era. During that same time period, the matching east and west wings were constructed, along with additional courtroom and office space. One of the most recognizable features in any courtroom is the judge's bench. The bench you see here is the original bench that was used in this courtroom. It was restored during the building's restoration and returned to its original location that you see here. A judge's large raised bench is the primary focal point of any courtroom and highlights the prominent role of the judge. As the presiding officer of the court, the judge controls the proceedings and decides all questions of law. Most judges wear a black robe. That was the tradition in England at the time the U.S. declared its independence. While there is no rule that states that judges must wear this robe, it has become a symbol of the role within the court proceedings. The lawyers who are participating in the court proceedings sit at counsel tables facing the judge's bench. In criminal cases, the prosecutor sits at the table closest to the jury. The prosecution has the burden to prove the charge filed against the defendant. The lawyer representing the defendant sits at the other table along with the defendant. The defendant has no burden to prove anything. In civil cases, the plaintiff and the plaintiff's counsel usually sit closest to the jury, and the defendant and the defense counsel sit at the other table. The jury sits in an enclosed space called the jury box. In this 1908 courtroom, the jury box is positioned on the left side of the courtroom near the witness stand and the judge's bench. This location provides members of the jury with the best opportunity to listen and view the testimony of witnesses, arguments of counsel, and instructions on the law provided by the judge. The size of the jury varies between 6 and 12 persons depending on the legal proceedings being decided. Jurors must be 18 years old, U.S. citizens, and legal residents of Florida and their respective counties, and must possess a driver's license or identification issued by the Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles, or must have executed an affidavit of eligibility at the clerk's office. Potential jurors are asked a series of questions by lawyers to determine if they will be able to give fair and impartial decisions. By learning about the history of our justice system, we have an opportunity to participate more effectively in it. Thank you for joining us for this brief introduction to the 1908 courtroom at the Polk County History Center.